Welcome to Patches of the Van. I got a great quick story for you about something I just learned on this trip. This past Saturday, I went to the Union Square Green Market. It's one of the best farmers market in the U.S. And I was looking for vendors, looking for products to sell. And I came across water buffalo, and it's very unique. I immediately stopped and bought some water buffalo ice cream, sweet cream, and started chatting with the owner of this ranch. And she told me everything about water buffalo she knew, including how she got into the business, and she now has the largest water buffalo herd in the U.S., or dairy herd in the U.S. In somewhere while eating 2 cartons of ice cream, I kind of clammed up. And just sometimes this happens when you're building a business. You have this vision of where you want to be, of where you want your brand to be, but you're this small little thing right now. And when you hear someone's bigger or better, it's like, oh, their business is better, and you kind of get insecure. You clam up for some reason. And so for whatever reason, after hearing all of her story, I didn't tell her about Ungrocery. I didn't tell her about the vendors we have. I didn't tell her that we've sold grass-fed beef and shipped it all over the U.S. And I didn't tell her anything. I left, and I started feeling guilty like as soon as I left. And the next morning, I woke up even more guilty. Felt like I cheated my business partners, fellow vendors. I'm like, man, you come all this way. You come all this way. You rebuild this van and this engine. You have a big car, and you're not gonna like share the message. So I resolved to go back on Monday, and I went and worked out that morning with a friend, and immediately after we ate, rode my bicycle to Union Square, and show up pouring sweat, and she's not there. And I just think, man, this is kind of what you deserve. And what, you think someone else is going to do it for you? Oh, someone else is going to evangelize your business that you started? Well, I call her. She doesn't pick up. I write her email, and then I go and talk to other vendors there, and I spread the message. And I go to leave. I'm like, oh, it's time to go. And I get back to my bike, and I have a completely flat tire. And I almost thought it was appropriate, because now I'm going to have to get back and not ride a bike. And the subway was under construction, the line I needed. And I'm like, screw it, let's walk until we can get to the line that will take us back to Brooklyn. Thankfully, on that walk, McSorley's pub is there. It's my favorite pub in New York. I get a light and a dark ale, pour those down. One for me, one for my homeboy Mike Hyder, who introduced me to him. Shout out to you. And I start walking, and I'm just pouring sweat because New York has its own heat. It comes from the sun, and then every building either absorbs it, and you can feel it radiating, or it reflects it and it hits you. And the black top inside, it hits you from every angle. And that's the New York heat. It's this all-encompassing heat wave. So I'm pouring sweat. I'm walking this bike. It takes me an hour and a half. I get back. I see Patches has a ticket. And I just thought it was all appropriate. It's like, this is how you learn a lesson. To never do it again. You get a flat tire, you get a ticket, you sweat a bunch, and then you tell people about it because they'll hold you to it. Now, I did wake up a few days later, and she emailed me back, and she's like, hey, I'll be at the market on Wednesday. So I went Wednesday and spoke with her, and she was somewhat hesitant, rightfully so. I mean, look at this guy. Long hair, sweating everywhere. She's worked the past decade to build her brand and her into what it is. It's an admirable thing she's done, and she should protect it. I think we'll end up doing business together, but I at least gave her the option, and I ended up saying, listen, you can tell me no. I have thick skin. And I just kind of sit back. Like, that's a night and day difference from a few days prior when I wouldn't even bring it up. And now I couldn't be more confident in it. So I tell you this story for all the shy people out there, because I grew up a shy kid myself, and it's like taking a cold shower in the morning. It's good for you to get outside of your comfort zone. And I tell you this, you can laugh at me, laugh with me. Just don't tell me which preposition. And we're going to continue learning on this journey, and we will build the most delicious place on the internet. Thank you.